Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about another film from the Criterion Collection. I'm going to be doing a few of these types of videos where I talk about one specific release from the Criterion Collection as I watch them. This was another rewatch for me, and it is the film from 1978 called Girlfriends. I just really love this movie. I may have talked about this before, but this is a film that I remember having a tape of that I carried around with me for the longest time. You really couldn't get this movie, and I don't think this movie is even streaming anywhere today. But I had it on videotape for the longest time, and I was so happy when this version of the film got released. Again, this movie is from 1978. It is spine number 1055 from the Criterion Collection. There's the back of that one, and you can see all the extra features on here too, which I'll talk about a couple of the extra features that I watched. But I really liked this particular rewatch. It's perfect, quiet film for the fall, and I'm really enjoying these. And hopefully we'll be making more of these types of videos. So like I mentioned in my last video, if there's a particular film, whether it's from the Criterion Collection or not, that you'd like to see me watch and review, let me know. Again, this is an older film. I love films from the 70s. I'm going to also read the back of the description on the back here so you get an idea of the story. I really don't like to spoil anything, so this is the exact, this is what you would find on the website if you looked at it. Girlfriends. When her best friend and roommate abruptly moves out to get married, Susan, Melanie Mayron, who has an amazing performance in this, trying to be an artist while making ends meet as a bar mitzvah photographer on Manhattan's Upper West Side, finds herself adrift in both life and love. A Wonder of American Independent Cinema by Claudia Weil, who, when she was admitted to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences as a director in 1981, was one of only 4 women ever to have received that honor. Girlfriends is a remarkably authentic vision of female relationships that has become a touchstone for makers of an entire subgenre of films and television shows about young women trying to make it in the big city. This 1970s New York time capsule captures the complexities and contradictions of women's lives and relationships with wry humor and refreshing frankness. And I mean, it's, so well said on the back, and I love these Criterion releases, of course, but, some of the things I really enjoy about this movie are really the performances. Melanie Mayron is amazing in this movie, really, really well done. It's such a quiet film in some sense, and it's an emotional film as well, talking about the relationships and friendships and really transformation in relationships as you go through the years. So many things change. People get married, people move on, and it's really a bit of a loss there too when that happens. And so I think this movie explores those themes very well. Christopher Guest is in this movie. He's very young, of course, in this movie, but he plays the boyfriend at one point of Melanie Mayron, and he's really funny. I mean, there's a lot of funny elements to it as well. I love seeing New York in the 70s also. That's something I really enjoy, and I enjoy that about a lot of films I see from the 70s. Bob Balaban is also in this movie, and he does a great job. You might remember him maybe from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He was in Seinfeld. He's been in so many things. But he also plays a great character in this. One of the things I really enjoyed is the new interview with the director of the movie, Claudia Weil. I really found it very insightful. She talks about starting off as a documentary filmmaker and really getting into those types of films, working with a very small budget, and this movie feels like a documentary, and she kind of talks about it in those terms as well. Everything is on location for the most part, and so it really feels like it has a documentary real feel to it, which I really enjoyed as well. There's also a great interview. I think this was probably done over the pandemic. I think this movie got released over the pandemic. So there's a new interview with Weil and actors Melanie Mayron, Christopher Guest, and Bob Balaban. There's a new interview also with screenwriter Vicky Polan, which is also very good, talking about how she developed this particular script. Keep in mind, for the director, this was very new because she was used to doing documentaries, and so this was her first, I believe, one of her first movies where it was a fictional story. There's a new interview with Weil and writer and filmmaker Joey Soloway. There's also some short films included on this release. Joyce at 34, a 1972 short film. Commuters, a 1970 short film. And there's also essays. I'll show the inside of this too. Again, I love the art. I love the artwork on these Criterion releases. There's the inside of that. And it's got a very thick booklet with some essays in it also. So really, really great release from the Criterion Collection. I'm hoping these videos too will give you just an indication of or an idea of what the movie is like, what it's about, so that if you're thinking about purchasing this, maybe even during the Criterion sale or something, you'll have a reference point and you can see the inside of it. But I love this film. It's a really amazing film from the 70s. I'm not surprised I carried around for so many years on a videotape, and I'm so happy that Criterion decided to release this movie. So that is my short discussion about Girlfriends. I really enjoyed this movie. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to be doing a few more of these types of videos, I think, through the fall. I'm watching, along with scary and horror movies, I'm watching a lot of quieter films, which is pretty typical for me, being a mood watcher, and so I'm going to be doing that probably through the fall and the winter time. I start to watch a lot of these things. But as I said before, if you'd like to see me talk about a particular film, if it's from the Criterion Collection, maybe you'd like to see what's inside that, let me know in the comments section below. I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching this video today too. I really appreciate all the comments and questions on the channel. I really appreciate all of you who watch these videos. It really means a lot to me. If this is your first video, please consider subscribing to my channel. That would be awesome. I sincerely hope that everyone is safe and well, and I'll talk to you soon.